worthy to be praised. Good evening, everybody.
Look at them. Good evening.
Good evening.
Y'all tired?
Yeah.
Y'all tired? Tell the truth. You tired? That's what you need. Another class, right?
Yeah.
We tired too, though. We got up this morning about, well, him probably 3:30, but me more like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish. Went to work, got off work early, 3-hour drive, took 4 hours, and we're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So y'all not tired by yourself, so it's understandable.
So all that time you think you tired. Right?
But you know what? When my husband was running the streets,
I never was tired.
It's so amazing how you can get tired now. He never got tired. I was tired.
Yeah. I ain't the only one. You too. You can't even think. You thought you was going to miss a drug if you went to sleep. He's like, man, I'm not going to sleep. Sleep? You crazy? You ain't go to sleep. So what we're going to teach y'all, this program is different from any other program you ever took. The strategy we use is going to be different from everybody. So right now you might not be feeling enthusiastic or encouraged or excited, but by the time we get to some of the lessons, all that situations will change. We're going to teach you about what you already have in you. It's literally nothing we really need to teach you. We need to teach you how to use what you already have. The only problem you have is you ain't applying what you know. If you don't apply what you know, you're gonna keep going in the same cycle, and you're gonna always have excuses why you back in another program. You're gonna have excuses why your family is feeling how they feel. We're not gonna sugarcoat none of that. We gonna just give it to you. Everybody say anywhere
but
back.
But back.
So again, my name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. Let me give you a brief testimony. For 22 years of my life, I struggled with crack cocaine and heroin, and spent about 15 years in and out of prison. In August 2009, I found myself sitting on a corner in Bristol, New Jersey. I was suicidal. I was addicted to crack cocaine. I was addicted to heroin. I had tried so many programs. I lost count how many programs I was in.
What was your favorite?
Salvation Army.
His favorite program was Salvation Army. He did that one a lot.
I did that over and over. So I sat there and I was sitting there that day, and I completely had given up. I tried, I kept trying. I kept switching up different things, trying this strategy, that strategy, and nothing worked. But anyway, this particular day I was sitting there, and I didn't have my spiritual relationship that how it is now. Back then, I thought I was hallucinating, but I had heard this voice in my head that told me to go down to the Salvation Army. That's where I went to the Salvation Army in Bristol. It wasn't the ARC, it was the Corps. You know what that is, right? So I went down there. Major Pierce, husband, and Pastor Russell was at this particular Corps. This is where I came in contact with her. That's why y'all give her problems. Y'all got a problem with me. But anyway, I met them. I went to this particular Salvation Army, and I didn't know, again, I'm going by the voice that told me to go to this Salvation Army and ask them to help send me away. So the pastor, I went in there, spoke to the pastor and the major, and I told them that God said to ask y'all to help me get to a facility, to help go to a detox facility. Now, I had a crack pipe in my pocket, and I was literally asking them for $20 to catch the bus to get to the detox. Now y'all know, somebody already know what I know. Somebody already know how crazy that sounds, right? That just doesn't. So this is the thing. 22 years of struggling with crack cocaine, heroin, criminal lifestyles. Everybody say follow the voice. I followed the voice. I went down here and I told them, and they said, wait a minute. Let us go into our office. We're going to pray and ask God what to do. I'm sitting there. They gave me a sandwich because I'm all messed up by crack. So they gave me a lunch to eat. I'm eating food. They come out the office while I'm eating and they said, you know what? I said, what? They said, God told us to give you the money to get the detox. Look, I said, he did? Because I don't really have a relationship with God, right? I'm just telling them what I believe I hear in my spirit. And they said, he told us, God told us to give you the money and let you get to this program. Watch this, child of God. It was the last day I ever did drugs. If you can't.
That's all right. Y'all ain't got to say it. I'll say it. Thank you, Jesus.
So listen. Since that day, that was August 2009. Everybody say since that day.
Since that day.
Since that day, now I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor.
Come on, brother. Yes, sir.
Everybody say since that day.
Since that day.
Since that day, I'm now a 10-time published author.
Come on, man. Since that day.
Everybody say since that day.
Since that day.
Since that day, I got my baby back.
Yeah, right. Come on,
I
man.
got my baby back.
Since that day.
So since that day, I created a program which we're going to go over today called the Minor Adjustments Program. Go ahead, Apple.
Where you created this program at?
In the Salvation Army. When I was in the Salvation Army, this is important. I'm giving y'all, everybody say minor adjustments. I'm going to give you something right now because some of y'all might be doing it right now. When I was in the Salvation Army in Wilmington, Delaware, I was putting together, I had a thought in my head that I was going to create curriculum that I could come back to the programs and help my brothers and sisters to not come back. So while I was in the program, I was writing up a curriculum saying I'm gonna open up my own program, I'm gonna start my LLC, I'm gonna get a nonprofit. I was writing up the course while I was in the Salvation Army. This is the thing. I was writing a program or curriculum to come back to the place that I was currently in. I'm saying that is because don't think you sitting here and have idle time. This is the time when you got to start creating. What are you going to do when you leave here? So while I was in the program, I created this particular program, and now I have been having the opportunity, my wife and I, to go around the world and teach minor adjustments everywhere. Now, her side of the story is totally different from my side of the story. Go ahead.
It is. He softened his old age. I'm kind of more the harder one, I want to say, in a way, because he experienced the drug and alcohol. I didn't, so I didn't understand it. So I became an enabler, and he used me. You know how you do. I don't know what's going on. I was clueless in the beginning. So I didn't pay attention to little things missing out of the house, a little bit of money here and there, until it got big. By the time it got big, I'm in love with this guy. I'm like, what the heck happened? So now I'm stuck because I'm torn. I want to believe what he's saying because I love him, but he's no good for me in this house.
Yeah.
You know how we do with our families. So I represent in this program your family. I represent your mom, your sister, your daughter, your girlfriend, maybe a cousin, someone close to you, right? They don't understand how it feels to come down off of a high. They don't understand what it feels like to be high. I'm that person. But you don't understand how they feel either. You don't understand how it felt for him to go to jail. When he would be home, he didn't care about any of the bills, right? He didn't care if I had a phone on.
Yeah.
He didn't care if we had a place to stay. Because if he get that rent money, it was gone. But now he's in jail and he care about all that. I got to keep money on the books. I got to make sure he can call 322 times a day, because he cares now. I'm that person.
Yeah.
So that's what makes this so unique, because you get to experience both sides.
Yeah, because you...
Go ahead, babe. Go ahead. Now, I'm going to lay some ground rules down. Since we drove 4 hours, right? And it is really our heart's desire to plant, to show you what God can do with a mess, because we were both mess. I didn't do drugs and alcohol,
but she was terrible, though. Lord,
I had my own issues.
Yeah, she did. Trust me, she did.
Because I tried to give him my own personal rehab.
I'm She thought she was gonna beat it out of me.
I was that person. You gonna get this or you gonna die, you know. But I have my own issues. So I'm also your loved one who can see all your issues. And because your issues are obvious, sometimes we don't see our own. And we don't realize we have to step back and seek God for ourselves and allow God to talk to you. Because I was so busy screaming so loud at him that he couldn't hear what God was trying to do in his life.
Yeah, that was true. I couldn't, and not only that, because at this time, like after going through all those years, and again, I'm gonna be ministering to y'all tonight and everything, but just to give you how powerful it is. When I was, normally she will enable me, right? Because some of your loved ones actually are hurting you, even though they love you. They think they're helping you, but they're actually hurting you.
Yeah.
So she will always come get me when I would get high, come to the streets and come to these places to come get me, right? Because she loved me, so she's trying to help me. So this particular time, the last time I used the drug in 2009, she was out looking for me again. She was driving around trying to say to me, go get this guy, bring him home. But this particular time, she was like right where this camera is, and I was standing right here, and my physical features changed so much, she didn't even see me. But she couldn't see me, right? Not only was my physical features changed, the time of her keep bailing me out of what God was trying to do was over.
Yeah, right.
It was no longer her enablement that was going to get me across the finish line. It was going to totally be me and him, or it was going to be me gone. It was either you change now, or your race is now over. So all the stuff we're going to learn today, everybody has a book.
That's what the rules were, right?
Yeah.
You're taking this time. Give them your attention. This is not somebody who does not understand. It's not somebody that went to college for this. This is somebody that actually sat in these seats.
That's right. Come on.
So I would think if you give anybody your attention, it would be one of your own, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes,
So we try to limit distractions. Make sure you come. These books cost. They're not free to us. They're not free. So make sure you bring your book.
Please write your name in it.
Yeah.
Write your name in it, because a lot of times we come here, because I'll be socializing with y'all all throughout the time, weekend here. I'm gonna hire one of y'all as a security to watch my wife, because she gonna be walking around, because y'all can ask her questions too, you know what I mean? You might want to have questions about, your loved one, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I'm saying, while we here, I remember walking around, and I tell y'all, write your names in the book, and I see Joker leave the book laying over here, and I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Come on, brother.
It doesn't work. So I would take the book, even though they name in it, you know what I mean? I'll take the book, and I know you cannot apply something you're not reading. So I call it the monster, right? The addiction I call the monster. The monster is not playing games out there. So I can't come in here and try to patty cake you and be nice to you when I know this monster is trying to take your head off. And all it wants to do is destroy you, to make your family be stressed out when you're off the scene. And I won't do justice by being like that.
That's a perfect introduction to the
Well, oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
It's a perfect
Go ahead.
place to start the poem. I'm going to sit down and let you finish. All right?
All right. Right.
I'm going to read something. Let's see. This poem I'm about to read is titled Wasted Time. Everybody say wasted time.
Wasted time.
It said, the time that I have wasted is my biggest regret. Spent in these places I will never forget. Just sitting and thinking about the things I've done, the crying, the laughing, the hurt, and the fun. How it's just me and my hard-driven guilt. Behind a wall of emptiness I allowed to be built. I'm trapped in my body just wanting to run. Back to my youth with its laughter and fun. Good God Almighty. But the chase is over and there's no place to hide. Everything is gone, including my pride. With reality suddenly right in my face, I'm scared, I'm alone, and I'm stuck in this place. No memories of the past flash through my head, and the pain is obviously from the tears that I shed. I ask myself why and where I went wrong. I guess I was weak when I should have been strong. Living for the drugs and the wings I have grown. My feelings were lost, afraid to be shown. As I looked at my past, it was so easy to see. The fear that I had, I was afraid to be me. Good God Almighty, man.
Talk about it. Come on, man. Help somebody.
The fear that I had, I was afraid to be me. I pretended to be rugged, so fast and so cool, when actually I was lost like a blinded fool. I'm getting too old for this tiresome game, acting real hard with no sense or shame. It's time that I change and get on with my life, fulfilling my dreams for my family and my wife. What a future will I hold, I really don't know. But the years I have wasted are beginning to show. I just live for the day when I will get a new start. And the dreams I still hold deep in my heart. I hope I can make it. I at least have to try, because I'm headed towards death and I don't want to die.
Woo!
If the person that wrote that poem in 2015 is here, if they want to acknowledge that they wrote that poem, they can tell y'all and stand up. I kept that poem because it's so, you heard that poem? It's titled Wasted Time. And a lot of us, if we honest, that's exactly what we doing. We are literally wasting time. We already know what we need to change and what we need to do, but how long we gonna keep playing that life? I cannot lie. It's so much better on the other side. Oh, it's so much better. Just laughing and having joy and fun. It's so much better, y'all. So let's go, page 5. Let's go to work. That was a beautiful poem.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to send it to Major to print it out for y'all. It's called Wasting Time. When I saw him, I see a few people in here that heard me talk about minor adjustments. And I always say I'm glad you got an opportunity to start over. Because if y'all know, and you can testify to this yourself, you know a lot of people who didn't get that opportunity. So page 5. Everybody got a book? All right. This is the mission statement. Minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. Say anywhere but backwards. If you don't get anything from me from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I simply need you to remember anywhere but backwards. Because it's very important, because in order for you to truly see what you need to see in your life that has been preordained for you, you're going to have to eliminate going that way. That word or that phrase came from Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. And it says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they kept following the dictates of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards instead of forward. So that scripture is saying, if they listen to me, you can always tell the man or woman that's listening to him, because they won't go back. Come on, Lord. It's no reason God would want me to go back to crack.
That's right. Yes, sir.
If I go back, I can guarantee you I wasn't listening to him. I was listening to me. So the mission statement is 2 words in there, and they real big. What are they?
Obtain.
All right. Everybody say obtain and maintain. Now look at page 6. Watch this. Everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To attain my sobriety is easy.
My challenge is to maintain it.
To maintain.
Say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To attain my sobriety is easy.
My challenge is to maintain
To
it.
maintain.
Because to obtain means to come into the possession of something.
That's right.
So in August 2009, when I came into the possession of my sobriety, I did not have to go get my sobriety in August 2010. I simply had to learn what I needed to learn to maintain it. And the reason why I say to attain your sobriety is actually easy is because if you are like me, and when the judge locked you up, right, amazingly, I stopped doing drugs. Watch this. If he told me I was going to jail, he said, well, I won't send you to jail if you get into a rehab. Amazingly,
yes, sir.
I stopped doing drugs, right? But as soon as I got released, I did drugs. I said, wait a minute. If I was able to stop at will on those situations, I realized something. Wait a minute. Stopping is not my problem. Well, staying off. To everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To obtain my sobriety is easy.
My challenge is to maintain it. Maintain means to keep it in possession, to keep it in existence. So watch this. Prayerfully, none of y'all are under the influence, right? Whenever you last used, you no longer have to go get your sobriety from that point forward. Right now, you need to find out, what do I need to do to maintain it? You don't have to put no more. Everybody say minor adjustments.
Minor adjustments.
Listen to me, Charlie. You have it. And this is the thing. I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor. It amazes me every time I say it, right? When I'm talking to my clients and they say, listen, Mr. Rams, I don't want to hear all that stuff about drugs. I know everything. I know all the steps. And I'm like, I wish you would shut up. And he's like, what? I said, because I know you know it.
Come on, brother.
Let me teach you how to apply what you know. Because we as men sometimes be like, this man can't tell me nothing. Well, I think I can, buddy boy. Because if I have 15 years, it's not a bragging post. I know something. So I'm trying to tell people, you included, that I know you know it. You just, what's stopping you from applying what you know? You already know if you go home and have this mindset of saving money, I'm going to work, I'm going to just get high on the weekend, or I'm going to go get a package and I'm going to flip it and I'm going to, you know that ain't working. You already know that ain't, that old plan ain't, I'm going to get on my, I'm going to flip it and I'm going to do it. It'll work for a hot month. But you already know. That's not something new, I'm telling you. You know it. But what would make you think it's different now? What part do you have to change now? So we're going to be learning a lot about what you need to do. Everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To obtain my sobriety is easy.
My challenge is to maintain it.
To maintain.
So each individual, right, you're going to have to learn what you need to learn to maintain it. Because every person is different. Right? So you're going to learn a lot of stuff here because everybody got a different flow. Everybody got a different thing. You might not need what that person needs, but that's okay. This is why we gave you the books where you can write in the book, because what he write might be different from you. It's not a wrong answer. It's just that he's saying, I'm a little bit more advanced in this area, so I don't have to work on that. If you judging yourself, you're going to have something that you know you need to work on.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's going to be personal. It has to be a personal thing. So let's look at, every time we do the sessions, we have what's called an expectation. Because when we do minor adjustments, we create what's called minor adjustments facilitators. We want you to go back to your town, where you from, and we establish the minor adjustment program in the town you used to destroy, and you become a facilitator and you run groups in your town. So now we building up people. Like, yo, let's establish it in your same town you used to destroy, because they gonna believe you when they see you and you change your life. They gonna be like, I know that ain't that guy that used to steal my lawnmower. They gonna believe you though. So we want to train you to be facilitators, and then not only that, if you have a vision or you have a dream, what we do is we push people. You might have your own idea of a program that you always thought you could create. We the people that try to help you birth it. If you have a vision, we all have visions and dreams of business ideas, books you want to write, all that. All we are, God put us and made us vessels to push you. We simply are individuals to show you it's possible. Everybody say it's possible. Right. I gotta share this. I can't remember, me and my wife, we got contacted with Detroit. We was in Detroit. They contacted us to come be on TV, right? Now, mind you, I was just smoking crack about 15 years ago. So they contacted us about going to be on TV. We on TV, they doing a recording. We do the TV, everybody like, yo, we can't believe that is, there's people on this TV. But this is the thing. We were so shocked when we came off the recording, me and her looked at each other and bust out laughing. We looked at each other like, how in the world did we get in Michigan,
the Big D,
on TV from all of that stuff? I'm telling you that once you obtain your sobriety, there's so much other things that are available to you, but you gotta lock in that you can't go. Everybody say anywhere, but back. So we on page 21. Let's go. Page 21. Make sure y'all write your names in the books, because every book I find around here, laying around, I'm taking it. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? Listen, man, I mean it, man. By the time we leave on Sunday, and for those who see us after Saturday, we pour out everything. Our jobs, our assignments, our purpose is to go to all the places that God has allowed us to go. We pour it out and we pray for you guys. We pray that you apply what we poured out. And the thing is, we have to keep going. I can't stop and be like, this person went back and did all that. I'm going to keep praying for you, but we got to keep going. We got to go get the next group of people. Out of all the groups, they always say a certain amount of people going to make it. But we believe you all can make it if you apply the things that you're learning. Again, remember, you already know. Everything you need, you already have. Watch this. So we're going to talk. The expectation is everybody will get down to the core, right? Everybody, every group we do, I'm telling you as a facilitator, when you start your groups, I'm prophesying to y'all, when you run in your group, you always should have an expectation for the group. My expectation for this session right here is everybody will get down to the core. I'll explain it. Everybody say there's a purpose in your past. There's a purpose in your past. Y'all see what I'm reading at? All right. In order for you to begin the process of allowing your past to push you into your destiny, you must first know that you still have a purpose for living despite all the bad choices and situations and negative things you have done in your past. So many people want their lives to have meaning. They want to do the right thing, but are often unsure what that entails. Do remember, you and I are created to do something extraordinary. You have a purpose. Everybody say, I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
So when I said that everybody will get down to the core, right? Everybody will get down to the core. If you take an apple, a regular apple, and you peel the skin of the apple, and you take the skin of the apple out back, put it in some good soil, and you plant it, you still won't produce the greatness that's in the apple. But if you take that same apple, peel the skin, cut through the pieces you can eat, take one of those pieces we normally eat, take that piece out back, put it in some good soil, you won't get to the greatness that's actually in the apple. Now, if you break through that apple, cut the skin off of it, cut the pieces to the apple, you get to the part of the apple that's called the
core.
the core. When you break through the core, you get to the
Seed.
that seed represents what's in you.
That's right.
But in order for you to get to the seed or the greatness in you, you got to break through the core of why you keep putting things in you that can kill you. So whatever the core is, there is a core. Each individual, you got to break through the core of why do I keep returning to something that's trying to kill me? You have to figure it out. Because if you don't break through that core of why do I keep going back? I already know it's going to kill me. I already know it destroys my family. I already know that I'm not going to be successful using it. But what is it about Michael that I keep going back to something that I know is not good? You're not going to answer that question unless you get down to the core. You have to do that. This is not a group assignment. This is something when you find yourself quietly and you find out, why do I keep going back to, and watch this, I was doing it since I was 16 to the age of 38. I got 22 years. It's people in here probably did it longer than me. 22 years I was doing it. I could not figure out why in the world was I kept going back to my vomit. And you notice a dog, you ever see a dog when he vomit, he go back to it? Watch this, let me give you some good revelation. The reason why the dog goes back to the vomit, because whatever he vomit up, when he initially ate it, it was good. So drugs is the same thing. When we initially did it, it was actually good. It solved the purpose at that moment. Even though it was a small moment, it was good to us. So we go back to our vomit and we chasing that feeling we felt when we initially did it. Which, watch this, the first time you did it, you'll never get again anyway. What we do is we chasing it. We keep chasing it, but you'll never achieve that feeling ever. It's over. There's no way. First time is always your first time. It will never be your first time again.
That's right.
So you got to break through the core. Everybody say the core.
The core.
One of the things I found out with me, I grew up, I'm born and raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And one of the things I found out was I was an insecure man. When I was not under the influence of anything, I would talk a little bit, but I was more talkative when I was under the influence. I was an insecure man. I had chipped teeth and I would cover my mouth when I would talk. And I remember when I first met my wife, I was at her desk talking or whatever, and I would always cover my mouth because I wasn't under the influence. I was insecure, so I was covering my mouth. And I remember she pulled my hand and said, "Put your hand down." I was like, "No, I can't put my hand down. You know, my mouth is like not right. Like, let me talk to you like this." And she said, "No, you got a beautiful smile." I married her. I said, "Oh, that's it right there." So I found somebody that liked my smile. It's over. My insecurity is now gone. You like this? Okay, let's get married. But watch this. My insecurity made me do substance because I was an insecure man, and when I was under the influence, I was a different person. So once I realized a lot of it started from me being insecure. Once I realized that I was comfortable without it, now yours might be a different scenario. What's the reason you think, somebody want to answer a question? What do you think the reason you keep going back to what you came out of? Anybody?
Fear.
Like in the poem. That's what he said. The fear, he said, I was afraid to be me. That was fear. You was going to say something?
I did say something.
Go ahead, Go ahead. Rejection. So this is important, right? Because the reason why I say you might say something, another person might be thinking it and don't say it, but you still helping somebody else. Because they thinking it, they like, that he said it for me, but that's me. But that's cool, because we here to help each other. Because the mask was off. I got comfortable around people, right? When I told people, like I literally snatched my own wife's pocketbook. You know how you rob somebody? Like I robbed her for real, right? If I could say that in front of men, like, yo, I snatched my wife's pocketbook. I'm talking about physically snatched it to take the money to get drugs. Right? There's no lower point than that. That's like the law of the law. You was about to say something? Somebody had their hand up back there. Yeah? Go ahead. Yeah. No, back there. He know what I'm talking about. What you was about to say? Huh? Yeah, whatever. Yo, both of those is good though. Rejection, fear.
And I had the fear of being alone. That was my thing. Fear of dying alone and unsupported.
Unsupported. What? Now you remember?
Lack of self-control.
Lack of self-control. Yeah, because all those things are, when you break through those cords, you have to deal with it, is because if you never get to it, you'll get to it again, or you'll be faced with that same situation. Because, I'm telling you, everybody say minor adjustment. The thing you can't overcome will come back to you again and see if you did it.
Right.
I'm a truck. Let me see. Oh, you fell for that? It's coming back. It might not come with the same person, look the same person, might not be the person with the same race. I'm telling you, it's coming back because if it got you before, it's going to keep coming. Say, they don't need me to try nothing. No, I can get you with this. I'm going to get you mad. Yeah, your girl left you. You're going to lose your job. All the stuff is going to come back again until you overcome it. Once you overcome it, you move into the next stage. It says the word purpose means, I'm still on page 21, to set as an aim, intention, or goal for oneself, the reason for which something exists. Who are you? When you normally ask people, this is in my book, but you can write it down. Normally, other people tend to see your true potential before you see it. Normally, other people see your true potential before you see it. I'm not the only person in here that has had multiple people tell you you could be doing something different. They told you you could be doing something else, and they told you confidently, like, yo, I see this in you. I think you a nice person. You do this and you do that. I remember my wife when she met me, she said, you just before she knew I was smoking crack. She was like, yo, she was like, you're really a nice guy. You really a nice guy. You just a little rough around the edges. She always be like, boy, I didn't know how rough he was. She did, because she didn't know my life. She saw me when I was not using. You know, we show the people our best us. You know, we show the best us, and then when that monster come out, they be like, man, who in the, who is this person? They find out you a whole different monster. But by that time, my wife said, by that time I fell in love with you. So now I'm caught. So I'm in love with you. I didn't know you were that person. And that happens with all of us. So what's your purpose? What's your purpose? You want to find out what your purpose is. When you find out what your purpose is, it'll fulfill your whole life. It's not like coming here, driving down here, I can drive down here like that, right? It's because it's part of my purpose. It's fulfilling to help people. When I go to work in the morning, I go to help individuals get into different programs and different things like that. That's purposeful for me. It's not about being paid. It's about having a purpose. So you have to find out what's your particular purpose. You might not even realize it's your purpose, but it's something in you that feeds you, something that satisfies you positively. Right? You helping other individuals, it's priceless to help other people. That you'll never get fulfilled until you help other men and women with their particular life. That's the purpose that you want to try to help other individuals. So when you find out what's your purpose, you want to find that out. Next bullet, are you aiming for anything of importance? Are you aiming for anything? I wrote in my book, I'm aiming to provoke you to change. We do not change people. We are called to provoke people by seeing what God has done in our lives and have individuals be like, man, wait a minute. Because there's nothing wrong. It's no difference. I'm not different than you, right? We might look different, got boys with all that, right? But there's no difference from where I came from with all those 22 years in crack cocaine and you. So we want you to understand what are you aiming for anything of importance? So when you write something down in there, remember, you have to be aiming for something. What are you going for? What are you trying to do? Or are you just trying to, most of the time when it was winter time, I would go to the program because it was cold outside. That's what, I wasn't trying to change nothing. I was like, man, it's winter time coming. I got to get in this. Yo, y'all got beds open? Right? I really wasn't trying to change. I was just like, it's cold and it's different. Y'all know I'm not lying. It's different from being outside all night in the summer than it is being out there in December, January, and February. Right? So you got to find out why you're here. What are you aiming for? Anybody? Somebody answer the question. What's your aim? Are you aiming for anything? Somebody.
How I started a new life.
Say it again.
Started a new life.
Good. Yeah. You got your hand up? That's good too. Everything, go ahead. Freedom. From?
Myself. I'm aiming for peace and stability in my life. I'm just tired of breaking all the time.
Peace and stability. Ain't nothing like it. Like you just, when you had, go ahead, you had your hand up?
Get closer to God.
Amen. All that, all y'all, the reason why that's in the book for you to aim for, right? If you think about like all the stuff you said, but the peace and stability, it's nothing like, no matter how, I don't care how much money you might have, if you have no peace in your home or peace in your life, it won't matter. But if you got like peace and stability and you have things in order, that all comes. This is the key, y'all. Everything that y'all said, for everybody that mentioned something, and for those who have been writing something in your book, all of it is, none of it is possible if you go this way. Everybody say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But back. So this is the part, this is the key. You have to secure that part. You have, because when I went home, watch this, I didn't have a job. I went home, I didn't have a job. I went home without a job, right? But only thing I was sure of is that I wasn't going back to using. So wherever you are and all the things that you're aiming for, once you secure that part, like I'm not going back to, like, right? Everything else is on the table for you to achieve. Everything else can come because a lot of times we keep spending a lot of time going back to what we used to do, and that robs us from things that are presented for us. You know what I mean? Our peace, our stability is right there. Even our relationship with God. My relationship with God got or increased the more or the farther I got away from my own vomit. The further I got away, the more I started seeing, wait a minute, I could have been doing this years ago. I could have been living this type of life 20-something years ago. But we never started the process, amen? Next one, what's your intention? The next one, do you have a goal? Purpose, this is in my book. Purpose, where it says, do you have a goal or purpose? It says, purpose is a master of motivation, and is the mother of commitment. Y'all can write that down. Purpose is the master of motivation and is the mother of commitment. And the reason why purpose is the master of motivation is because when you find out what your purpose is, it's going to motivate you. But it's not only going to motivate you, it's going to make you become committed. I'm committed to helping other individuals going through the Mind Adjustment Program, helping other individuals around the world, helping other individuals get on the path of doing something different, doing anything, inspiring individuals. Anybody in here tired of living the life you used to live? How about that? Is anybody just be like, man, you gotta get to the place where you just be like, man, I gotta do something different. You just like, at some point, you're gonna have to be like, man, this is it. I'll never forget, right? I was coming into the prison. It was an assessment center actually in Trenton, New Jersey, Bo Robinson, right? I came to Bo Robinson. I'm suited. I'm coming in. I'm about to do the group. There's about 100 inmates in there. I'm coming in. Boom. Everybody say purpose. Purpose. So I walk in there. I grab my stuff. Then the inmates see me, right? They see me, so they like, yo, they like, Mick, what you just got sent back from the halfway house? Because I was dressed, right? So they thinking I just came from the halfway house, but I got violated. And then the person that was hosted or at the person that runs the program, they said, no, he's the teacher. So the inmate's like, wait a minute, hold on. He was just in prison with us. He's the teacher? And I said, yeah, man, sit down, man, sit receptive, man, stop, right? So I started messing with him. I said, listen, the only reason I'm here, this is, okay, thank you, Lord. And this was the thing. The person who was running the prison was walking me around telling me what the inmates do, where they eat at. They don't, because they didn't know I used to be there. Yeah. So they like, this where the inmates eat, this where the inmates sleep. And I'm saying to myself, I know, that was my bunk, right? They didn't know. But I'm telling you that, everybody say purpose. Purpose. So my purpose for coming in there, just like my purpose is coming in here, is to motivate you, to show you that it's possible. It's possible. I didn't, thank you. I did not graduate high school until I was 48 years old. 48. I just said, man, I'm going back, I'm gonna do it. And then I was intimidated. I said, man, I can't pass this test now. I'm like 48, man. Ain't no way I ain't gonna be able to pass this schoolwork. And then my wife made this statement, or she told me this. She said, you can't so pass it. I said, man, I don't think I can pass it, get my diploma. And she said, boy, you know more now than you did when you were 16. And I thought about it, I said, oh, you right. I do know more. We all do. And I passed. But we think everything, we don't have to go back into that stuff. It doesn't mean nothing. Yes, it does. You might have graduated high school or you might have dropped out. Go back and complete it. Why? What's stopping us? Sometimes we just don't want to go back and put in that work. But just like my wife said, you know more now. At 16, you ain't know. You probably thought you knew stuff. You now, if you'll read the test and be like, man, it's easy. Math was hard enough. All right, next bullet. Where do you have to go and what do you have to do for your purpose to be reached? Where do you have to go and what do you have to do? This is, I'm going to give you 3 things and then we're going to move into the next lesson. To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. To reach your purpose, you want to write these down. To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. Watch this. What's my present situation? Everybody say, what's my present situation? What's my desired destination? Somebody want to guess the 3rd one? Go ahead, say it. You might be right. I'm going to say it again. What's my present situation? What's my desired destination? What am I trying to go? Where I'm trying to get to? What I'm trying to do? What you think the 3rd one is? Yeah, what you got to do. Because watch this. I'm going to use me again. My present situation was I was in the Salvation Army. My desired destination was to create a program to come back to the Salvation Army and teach the people. But the steps in between is what I had to figure out. What do I have to do to make what I want to come to fruition? One thing I had to do, I couldn't go. So we already know your first step is, whatever your current situation is, you here. Your desired destination is what you're trying to achieve. You already know what you got to do in here is, in order for me to get into a prison, halfway houses and things like that, I had to have people testify and vouch for me that I'm no longer the person I used to be. Because when I came, that's where he wrote the poem at, actually. We was in Kintock Halfway House. I was coming back to the same place that I used to be incarcerated, and I was teaching the inmates. But you got to understand, what do you got to do for your desired destination to come to fruition? You know you can't go back. You cannot go back to where you came from. But what other steps do you have to do? You have relationships you want to build. If you want to start your own company, you got to investigate. One of the things that you should investigate now that's real big is recovery coaches. Certified peer recovery specialists, right? What that is, let me tell you. What that is a person, it's called peer recovery support specialist, right? What that is an individual like yourself, you and I, are getting hired to go back and help the people who are struggling with drugs, right? It's something that's real big now, right? But it's beautiful because it gives you an opportunity to develop and build a career at a late age, or because you started so late, now you have an opportunity to do something that's very fulfilling. And not only that, you can go be a certified peer recovery support specialist, and then you can go to be I'm a nationally certified peer recovery support specialist now. And what that means is I can go all across the state now. Because if I don't want to stay in Jersey and I want to go to another state, I can be a certified peer recovery specialist in that state. I'm telling you that because you want to look at different things. Your life not over. Your life, I'm trying to tell you, you have a purpose. But your desire, that your current situation is you here. Don't underestimate being here right now. You have a great leader. I can't thank Major and them enough. I never went back to the life I used to live. I can't thank them enough. It's nothing I can actually do to show appreciation to them of how grateful I am to have that opportunity to go from that where I was sitting there. Watch this. I was sitting on the bench this I can't make this up. The bench I was last sitting on where I was getting high at. Watch this. Say this is the bench right here, right? Where I work at as a drug and alcohol counselor is like right at the next corner. I can't make this up. This is where I was at when I was on crack. My job is right at the corner from where I used to be. And I'm telling you because no matter what's your present situation, if you have a desired destination, you got to figure out what do I got to do in the middle. Some of our relationships, we messed up our relationships, and it's tough. Because our loved ones, we destroyed a lot of those relationships. I destroyed relationships with my children. All those things is restored. All that things like that you probably think can't get fixed can be restored. You just got to find out which parts you got to play. 23. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter how you look at it, the fact remains that you have a purpose for this world and you have a reason for living. Telling yourself that you have a purpose, even though your present situation may leave you feeling broken inside. However, this is a great place for you to begin. Start by encouraging yourself. Stop waiting on others. Tell yourself, everybody say, I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a purpose. Say, I have a purpose. I have a purpose. The reason why I get you to say things out your mouth, because you need to hear yourself say it. Yo, 15 years removed since the last time and I still tell myself, I have a purpose. You might think it's elementary, but we gotta get simplicity. You have to hear yourself saying it to yourself. And saying that, I got bracelets right here. If anybody want a bracelet, the bracelet says I have a purpose. If anybody want one, just, you can pass it on. Anybody want a bracelet? Thank you. It says, everybody say, I have a purpose. I have a purpose. The purpose, the bracelet says, everybody say, my purpose is greater than my struggles. That's what the bracelet says. Come on. It lets you know, when you see it, you're going to already identify your struggles, but nothing is greater than your purpose. Your purpose is way greater than your struggles. You got to understand, no matter what situation you find yourself in,